months in terms of downsizing, where you have things in lots of different places. Like we had it in the van, we had some stuff downstairs, we had stuff in the car, we had things upstairs, just in a variety of places, is get it into one central location. I'm gonna spread everything out that are in these two tubs, which I believe is probably 98% of things that would be considered camping or outdoor equipment. I'm gonna spread it out, and then I'm gonna begin to pull out those things that I believe are essential for the next phase of our life. Then I'm gonna make another pile of things that I'm quite confident that we can sell, and then probably a pile of I just don't know what to do with, maybe sell, maybe give away, maybe toss, not really sure. So join with me now as I start that process of just spreading it out. And yes, this is probably the most embarrassing part, because you'll see how much stuff I've accumulated and all of us accumulate when we have things tucked away in cars and in the back of closets and in storage bins. And this is a great way to see what you really have visually. All right, so this is the embarrassing part. The things that we've accumulated, probably mostly me, over the last several years as we've developed more interest in being outdoors again. And some of it I would consider somewhat essential for the next phase of our life. And some of it I'm like, I just think we could probably sell it. Because what you have to consider really is, I'm looking at this great little item right here. For example, the Mr. Bedding. We've used it probably 5 to 10 times when we were tent camping. We used it periodically in the van, but we had a diesel heater in the van, so we didn't really need it very much. Now the question is it worth keeping this big thing and the propane that goes with it in the event that we were to use it again maybe once or twice in the next several years, or if we decide to camp in our RAV4, which is what we think we would do, we would never use this in the RAV4. So this is, I'm pretty sure, an item that we could sell and get some good money out of it, and the next person will get some good use out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right now with this item and the propane tanks as a definite sell item. Looking around, the next few things, I think it might be easier for me to actually begin to keep the things that I think we would want to keep in the next phase of our life. For example, if I just start right down here, we have a Playmate cooler. There's, in my opinion, no reason to sell that. A cooler you can use to go out and just when if you want to have an afternoon cookout outdoors or just traveling. We also have virtually a brand new Coleman Stove that we purchased. It's only been used once or twice. It is a borderline item, in my opinion, to sell or not. I think for now, I'm going to keep it in the keep pile, just because Tina and I have talked that the most likely scenario over the next year or so would be that we would take this and the cooler and some other items out and just go out and hike somewhere, cook right out of the vehicle at a picnic table, and I'm not sure if I want to sell that yet. So this pile right here is going to be keep for now. So if you keep the stove, you might as well keep pans that go with it. No reason to buy new pans. And cups. And a kettle. And I'd say this is probably the next essential. This is a Christmas gift, but it's just an awesome gift if things don't fall out. Because it has all of our silverware and utensils and all in one compact thing. So this is, for me, a definite keep. We'll put that there as well. Take a quick look around here and see if there's anything else related to cooking that we would definitely want to keep. Plates, definitely. Okay, as I continue to look around, well, here's something related to outdoor cooking. We have 3 grill lighters. I'm not sure exactly why we have 3. I'm going to be very diligent here and just say I think we could probably live with 2. We could probably sell one of these with the Mr. Buddy. Something else probably that we ought to just keep, of course, not to be too crude or rude, but when you're outdoors camping, sometimes you do need a trowel, so you might as well just keep that. I'd say maybe a can opener, not a bad thing to keep. This is all of our bug insect repellent. No reason to really sell that. You're always going to have bugs, so we'll keep that. Not sure there. These are two great compact towels, microfiber towels that we got for Christmas, and they're just great towels, good to have and compact. So we'll keep those there. I've got to keep my little stove that I got for Christmas. You know, and this is another option. Instead of using the Coleman Stove, is to use some type of stove here. I'm not going to take it apart now, but it opens up and then you can build a fire there, so it's a very compact little stove. So I'm going to put that in the keep pile for now. I'm still feeling a little uncertain about the Coleman Stove. And the reason I think I'm feeling uncertain about it is simply because how much usage will it get given the size that it takes up? And of course it will fit under our bed someday, so it's not huge, but again, it's always how much usage you'll get. And because what we could do would be just to buy a smaller stove, more compact, or maybe like something that you would backpack with. They make them now that are just so small, and maybe that would be better to consider. Another debatable item, maybe I need to start a debatable place, would be this tarp and these poles that go with it, and these magnets that go with it. This is the uncertain pile because it takes up a lot of space. This tarp takes up a lot of space. This stuff doesn't take up so much space. I think it's the tarp that's bothering me. If we do camp out of our RAV4, these poles and these tent stakes and these magnets can be used, because we've done it with Vanessa Van Gogh, into building a tarp off of the vehicle, which is super nice to give you some shade and just to give you more of a camping area. But the question that I keep coming back to is, do I want to keep this much? It takes so much space up for the amount that we're actually going to use it. So I'm just going to put that as uncertain right now. And along with that are tent stakes that we've never used. We used 2 of them, but again, these are great tent stakes. I just don't know if they're worthy of keeping. So I'm going to go ahead and put, I think I'm going to keep that, and this is going to be uncertain. How's that? Uncertain. Fire starter, probably will sell, but I'm going to keep it in the uncertain. I come up to the Coleman Stove. This is a battery operated stove. I mean a lantern. We'll go back and say lantern. It's a great little lantern, and we've used it quite a bit, but I will say that over time, we have received as gifts, and we've also used in the van, solar lanterns. And I think this is really the way for us to go. I have 3 of them, which may be a little excessive, so that may be one thing to consider, but it is nice to have more than one. Of course, if you run out of solar energy, you can always use another one. So for now, I'm going to keep those in the pile of just keeping. I may make a decision later to get rid of one of those. Here's another thing that I think we'll keep. It's a bladder, a water bladder. And the reason I think it's important to keep is, of course, you always need water. But I love the way that it just folds up. It doesn't take up any space at all. It's perfect for what we need. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here. And then, I don't think this really belongs in the camping stuff. This is a little tea thing, to whatever that is. Toothbrushes, probably don't need those. Earplugs, I don't know. We needed those in the van because it had a diesel heater in it. Tick, 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 tick. Now this is an essential item, but it's not something probably considered camping. More, quote, recreational, whatever you want to say. Pickleball. And we definitely will be playing pickleball in Kentucky, as there are pickleball courts very close to our apartment. So this is a keep. I just don't know if it's considered camping or not. I'll just keep it here for now. Same thing with our, these are all of the games and things that we had in the van, and there's really no reason to get rid of those. There's backgammon, there's Scrabble, they're very compact. Again, I don't consider that really camping. We'll just keep them there for right now. Moving on, this is simply a way to tighten your ropes if you use this particular tarp here. Again, not much space. I'll just keep it there for now. Fly swatter, I don't think we probably need that. We'll probably just toss that. Now we're up to our little hatchet. It's a nice hatchet. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Again, the question becomes, how much will you use it? And so for that reason alone, I'm going to put it in the unknown. Just not sure about that. Batteries really aren't for camping so much, except for our lantern. If I get rid of the lantern, I certainly don't need the batteries associated with the camping stuff. So, again, it's something you probably keep, but I'm not sure I'm going to consider it part of the camping. Some hiking boots. They're not really hiking, they're more work boots. I just had them in the van all of the time. I think I could probably get rid of those. Probably just give them away, but I'll just put them over here for now. These are some rain pants that turn inside out, and they're a great little item. But the reality is, I don't think I used them, and I've had them probably for 10 years. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in the sell pile for sure, or this pile, I guess, is kind of becoming the sell, not sure pile. Same thing with the coat. It's a nice little coat, but I'm not really sure that I need it, or if I do keep it, I'll get rid of a coat upstairs. So we're going to put that over here. Binoculars. Both Tina and I love to look at birds, but the problem is, as we've gotten older, our eyesight is hard to look through with glasses. I know you can adjust them, but it's kind of a pain. So I think I'm going to put those in the definite sell pile down here with the Mr. Buddy. And then we're left with hot dogs. We don't eat hot dogs, but we could eat fake hot dogs. So I'm going to put that in the not so sure pile either. Now we're up to a brand new Zippo Lighter that we had purchased for camping. And boy, this is a tough one because I'm not really sure that that's something that we're actually going to use. I mean, we've already kept, these kind of grill lighters. So I think it should be strongly considered to sell. I guess one thing is it doesn't take up a lot of space. But I'm going to put it over here, as well as this connector. Put all this over here. And then we're to Loosey Goosey. So Loosey Goosey has extra set of bowls. Again, just not sure about those. And we bought this a long time ago. It's a you put it at your campsite and she can go around in circles, and Miss Lucy Doocy did not like it, and when we camped out she was able to walk around the camp off chain. But it's brand new, so we'll just have to think about that, because if we have a different animal someday, it may become essential. And this is, unfortunately, is essential. It's not blown up, but this is her cone, because she's had eye problems. So this is something that we probably need to keep, maybe not consider camping. So I don't know how much progress we've made, but let me just kind of video this. You can join with me and I can show you what we have. We may even test it by putting it in one container. That's my goal, is one container. So some of these unknowns over here might or might not fit in there. If they do, we might keep them. If not, we may just go ahead and sell them. All right, so as of right now, this is the pile of potentially sell, kind of still sorting through whether it's worth keeping, or maybe some of it will be once we look at the tub situation. These are items, and these items here are all items as of right now that we think we should keep. The only unknown out of that is the Coleman Stove. So I'm going to give that some more consideration. And last, not really related to camping, are the recreational and batteries and the dog things. So I'm not going to consider that part of the camping, getting it into one tub. But it is stuff that we probably need to keep, at least the pickleball and the games and the batteries and the cone, the extra food dishes and the chain, not so sure of right now. And as of right now, we have the Mr. Buddy heater, 3 partial propane tanks, a lighter, and a set of binoculars that we will definitely sell. All right, so we have over here, definite sell, and for now, definite keep. So I'm gonna go ahead and start loading the definite keep up, and we'll see what happens. The little stove. Pans. Utensils, silverware. 2 towels. Plates. 2 coffee mugs. Hot water kettle. Insect repellent. 2 lighters, because you can never have too many lighters. A trowel, can opener. The water bladder, doing pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and just keep all of the solar lanterns for now. They don't really take up a lot of space. You can kind of see they flatten out. Keep all through. Whoops. Whoops. And that one came on too. All right, better be careful putting those in there. All right. I'm going to keep the magnets for the tarp or for other purposes. They're just super powerful magnets. I think for now I'm going to go ahead and keep the tarp, or keep the stakes and the rope tightener. They just don't take up much space. The 2 poles that are used to create the tarp, but unfortunately they're a little too long, so they're going to have to be considered separate, but we'll just do with that. So far that's what we've been left with. And this is the pile of the unknown. So now I'm going to look at that closely and determine what can go in that one. I have about a half a tub left. All right. What to do, what to do. I think I'm gonna keep this. I think it's not been used that much. It's not high frequency, but if you do go out and you create a fire, this is obviously handy to have, not much space. So we'll keep this. Earplugs, I'm not sure, I don't think we're gonna need those. I'm not sure who's gonna buy those either. Little hot dog thing, or in our case, a fake hot dog. Man, it doesn't take up any space. We'll just keep it. Tent stakes. I really think I'm going to sell these, and the reason I'm going to sell these is because they're brand new, and even if we were to get a tent someday, I just don't think that we would probably use this durable ones. I mean, these things are something else. Now they will be missing 2 because I kept 2 for the tarp. So that's a set of 3, 6, 8. So we'll put this in the sell pile. I definitely think that the pants are sellable. I don't know if they'll really sell, but we're gonna go ahead and try it in there. I think the coat I'm actually gonna keep, and I'm gonna sub it out with a coat upstairs, because this is a pretty nice coat. It actually was, I believe, Tina's dad's at some point. The Zippo Lighter, I just don't think we're gonna use it that much. Now, you know, we have the lighters to light everything else. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the pile to sell. And I know what I paid for it. I can ask pretty close to that. If it doesn't sell, then we'll keep it. I mean, it doesn't take up a lot of space. I just don't think we're gonna use it very much. Put that in here. Fire starter. You know, again, it's something that you might use periodically. And what I might do is I might just use, take out half of them and then just sell the rest for $1 or something. So I think I'll just, so we'll save those and we'll sell these. To the lantern, we do have room for the lantern. That's a good question. And the tarp. I still think I'm just going to keep the tarp because I've kept the poles, I've kept the stakes, and this really is something, it's almost like our tent if we go out and do some day hiking and want a place for shade. So, and it fits, so that's what's important. Keep that in there. And the boots, I don't think they're worthy of keeping. I'm not even sure if they're worthy of selling, but we might get $1 or $2 out of them. Otherwise, we'll be happy to donate them to Goodwill. We'll put them down to sell for now. Little connector, we can sell that. Earplugs, brand new, sell that. And that leaves us with the lantern, and I really think we can probably sell it because of those solar lanterns. So that leaves us, well, let me just show you what it leaves us. All right, so this is as of right now, this is the keep tub. And you can see we still have a little bit of room there. Might help us make the decision about the last remaining items, or of course we can put anything we want in there. It doesn't have to just be camping. And this is, as of right now, this is the sell or give away pile. We'll probably try to sell it all initially, and then we'll make a determination after that. And then the biggest item probably that I'm still debating is the Coleman Stove. And then we have these items that are not really camping, but we can, we'll probably keep, might store with the camping or put it somewhere else. The only items probably out of this are the dog items, Those I need to think through a little bit more, make sure we have plenty. This one we definitely will keep for Lucy, and but these other items we may end up selling because of you always have to compare the frequency of use and how much it costs and how much storage space it takes and those kinds of things. Okay, so after consulting with Tina, the little T, this is what we've decided. We have decided to go ahead and try to sell the Coleman Stove. What we're going to do is we're going to set a minimum price in our heads of what we would accept, and then from there make a determination of either immediately buying a smaller stove or just waiting until we possibly need it. So this will go on the market. We decided to go ahead and just keep the dog dishes, easy to keep with the camping equipment, and to keep the leash, because although Lucy in the past has been able to roam, we might be in a place where she can't roam, and this will come in handy. It doesn't take up a lot of space. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the keep pile. This is keep. And these things are also keep. I'm just not sure. They may fit one in there, but if not, we'll probably have another box of things, you know, recreational kinds of things. Batteries, which weigh a lot, but boy, I love having extra batteries when you need them. All right, guys, that closes out today's video. You can see again that it's a process, and it's important to understand that this is the second downsizing I've done of this camping equipment. I did one about 2 weeks ago when we sold Vanessa Van Gogh. I just wasn't really sure what to let go of, so I just packed it up and said I'm going to visit it in a couple weeks, and that's exactly what I've done. Again, I might make another downsize before we leave, or I might make another downsize 6 months from now or a year from now. I mean, because if you don't use these things in a year, why are we keeping them? And that's just something to remember about downsizing. It's a process. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us today. Comment, like, subscribe. We just love hearing from you guys. This is an adventure for us and for many of you as you move into the next phase of your life, into a smaller space. What do we really need? What's essential? What's not? And we're still learning, and we're still joining in that process. Hey, I'm the Big B. You go out and make it a great day. Bye-bye.